Well, it says it's broadcasting. Hold on a second. There we go. And then we'll go like this, and then pop out chat so I can pay attention to anybody who may be watching. All right. I had a day at work today that was well, a little less than favorable, and so as a result, I had a lot of time to have some tone in the background. And I decided, well, hell, why not? I will have Jeranisim playing in the background. See what one of these big, long, excuse me, I'm just finishing eating. To see what one of these big, long hangouts is about. And why not about the Southern Star Trails? Now, I had a little notepad next to me throughout this, and oh my God, the amount of crap that they spin, and well, the amount of crap that Jeranisim spins in these things is basically unbelievable. I mean, it really is. And so, oh, let's just go ahead and start from the beginning. I don't like very long hangouts. I really don't. But this one has to be long. Okay, because there's a lot of ground to cover. Okay, these guys went back and forth on themselves. I don't know who the second guy was on here. Honestly, I didn't even, well, hold on. Excuse me. Curious J. Okay. The who I'm going to call the Dungeon Master, but you'll find out why in a little while. Man, this was bad. It was so bad. Okay. Now, anybody who might be familiar with the stuff on my channel has seen the get on me. Anybody who saw my video yesterday, or was it yesterday, the day before, showing that the Star Trails thing doesn't work the way they showed it with the big glass lens. I did it with water, which is actually a better analog for our atmosphere anyway. But nevertheless, it was the exact same thing. But what they failed to recognize there was that it doesn't create a second rotating ring of stars. What it does is it actually splits it due to refraction. So, which wouldn't look like that anyway from the inside. Oh, but of course, Jeran won't answer that. I know he won't, because he still thinks that I'm, well, excuse me, he still thinks that myself, Daza, and Wolfie, who now he all of a sudden respects, yet only 3 months ago we loved and adored and worshipped pedophiles and baby-eating demons. He has since actually, now I looked this up yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up again just to be sure. Oh, I did new window. Oh well, doesn't matter. Videos. Now it would have been around March, and it was the one that had our names in the title. But no, it's not here. It was like right around here, and he deleted that video. That was the one that I went off on, and I think it's funny that he thinks that name calling and all that stuff is bad, yet attempting to destroy somebody's character, you know, I guess that's fair game, but you have to delete it when you include somebody that you now respect who actually thoroughly debunked you. One of the things that I love in I just noticed this the other day in the bottom of Jeran's things here. What do you call it? My videos are my personal opinion and only that. Okay, which is a fair statement. Okay, nobody can hurt that. This was the part I like though. If you hear the words truth or fact, I am stating my opinion. Okay, so your search for truth is your search for your own opinion. Wonder how far you have to search for that. And your facts are that opinion. So once you've found your opinion, then that opinion becomes fact, is basically what you're saying. It's oh God. You may have, it says, you may have a different opinion. If you don't like hearing my opinion on the matter, simply block me. Well, you see, that's not what people with open minds do. You see, people like Sly. You see, Sly researches stuff. Sly looks things up, tests things out. Okay? And no, the insane idea of putting a ball in a large vacuum chamber to see if you can create the Coriolis effect with gases around it is insanely stupid, because it will not work. The reason why it will not work is not because the Coriolis effect does not exist. It will not work because of the fact that even though you are in a vacuum chamber, you are not escaping the Earth's gravity, which is going to outdo the stuff that is going on in that with gas and a ball in a, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. If you make a comment and it doesn't show up, well, let me just say this, Jeran. Okay. As you probably noticed, I guess today, if not, it might have started yesterday on Sean Hufford's thing. There's another guy who says you're, well, says you're completely wrong about just about everything. You'll notice that you were actually able to comment. Okay. On my page, or excuse me, channel, you are able to comment. I do not have you blocked. Okay. And I actually welcome the discussion as long as you stay on topic. Now, you can get mad at me right now for saying that I did not stay on topic in that thread, but that was only because of the fact that, given the opportunity, saying that you don't answer everybody's comments and stuff like that, which I can understand. You do get tons of comments, and I could only imagine that would turn into a full-time job. I understand that, but when you actually go to somebody's channel and comment, then you are actually opening yourself to a discussion. But you know, in my zeal, I asked you about all the things that I've been waiting to ask you, well, of course you didn't answer, and I don't know if it was you or himself, but and Anthony Riley decided he was going to take over that thread. Bonehead. And look, if you don't like somebody saying to you that, if you don't like insults, grow up, dude. Okay. If you don't like insults, grow up. However, there's a difference between insults and calling somebody who, someone, basically, in this case, me, Wolfie, and Daza, someone who worships pedophiles. That's not even close to or near a gray line. Okay. So, but I know you won't address that because you're not going to even respond to this video at all. What has Jism done this time? Well, no, Ola, basically what it is that I actually listened to this hangout today, and it was like rapid fire ignorance and self-gratification. That's what it was. Didn't miss anything yet, Potus. I'm just kind of, this is going to be just a rundown of the stuff that's going on inside of this this hangout from Jeran. Oh, well, here's a joke, Sean. Sean just said he doesn't like insults except for when he's the one giving them. He even insulted Anthony in that thread. Oh, interesting. I didn't know about that. But let me go on to the insults one first. Okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's an old saying. Look it up. Where is it? I need to. Towards the end, because he was, you know, he and what's this guy, Curious Jay, is talking about, you know, how people need to have an open discussion and they need to not be actually insulting each other and stuff like that. And well, I do admit, you know, when I first saw the first couple of flat Earth videos that I saw, yeah, I put in comments just as I saw them. I put in comments like, "Please don't breed," um, "Go back to school," 2 + 2 is not flat, things like that. You know, little one-liners. Until somebody came along and told me, "Hey, you know, what part of my video is wrong? You know, tell me the minutes and seconds." Yeah, and then we all know where that went from there. Where was this? Now, way out towards the end of his hangout first, he says he's reading through the chats as they're coming through, and hold on a second here. I got a whole list of timestamps here, and I just need to make sure that I catch the right one here. Where is it? Yeah, I like the fact that he says also at 2 hours and 46 minutes, he says it's not his job to explain anything, yet he claims to be explaining everything. Is this it? Hold on a second here. Let me scroll out to it. I'm just getting this part first, just so we can get past the insults part. Let's see, 2 hours and 49 minutes. All right, let me see something here.
Doesn't seem like it. It seems like they go through they go around an empty spot. Nice geocentric love. He means it shows perspective instead of setting. It's going over in those. Jeran, why are the mods and Flat Earth live chats so power trippy? They are. Bill Hicks, Alex Jones. I don't know. Because it's a protection thing. People want to protect Flat Earth from. There's a lot of people out there who just hate us for. They'll come in and just cause trouble all day long.
Now remember, he said that they'll just come in and cause trouble all day long, right? Talking about us coming in to give Flat Earthers shit. Oh damn, where is he like jumped past it so fast he accidentally read it. No, that's no hump. Go away comment. 0.318 per mile. Yeah. Rockets. Damn it. Well, anyway, he starts reading through these comments, and when he did, he started reading a basically an insult comment that came back from that was in his thing, but it was from one of the people on the Flat Earth side insulting somebody else. And you know what? He doesn't check that. Now, I know what his answer to that is going to be. His answer to that is going to be very simple. It's going to be like, well, you know, I can't control everybody and all this other stuff and all this. Yes, but you can control the information that gets put out on your page or on your, yeah, you can control the sources of information that come onto your channel because, God forbid, they differ from yours. Okay? Because remember, your facts are your opinion in your own words. Okay, if you hear the words truth or fact, I am stating my opinion. That's Jeranism.
So it gets to be a touchy situation. You know, I've always been on the side of I'm going to let people just talk about whatever in my comments, and I change my mind about that. So, you know, I see why they do it, but it's tough. Then go away. Go pretend you're spinning somewhere different. I hope that's not to me.
Oh, that was it right there. Now, it's just somebody dismissing somebody else. But, you know, I mean, this is a mild comment. I could go through miles of comments on my channel from Flat Earthers and all this, but you'll never hear Flat Earthers check that. Here, listen.
Jeran, why are the mods and Flat Earth live chats so power trippy? They are. Bill Hicks, Alex Jones. I don't know. Because it's a protection thing. People want to protect Flat Earth from. There's a lot of people out there who just hate us for. They'll come in and just cause trouble all day long. So it gets to be a touchy situation. You know, I've always been on the side of I'm going to let people just talk about whatever in my comments, and I change my mind about that. So
he changed his mind about that. Okay, so that means he's rejecting the comments that are against his opinion or his facts. But
yeah, I see why they do it, but it's tough. Then go away. Go pretend you're spinning somewhere different. I hope that's not to me. I'm not spinning anywhere.
Yeah, see? He doesn't much care about that. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Let's see here. But anyway, let me get back on track, because the whole insult thing I find funny. Okay, because I could go to any one of my videos, any single one of my videos, even up to and including the most recent video, and I can show you the insults coming from y'all's side, and I don't hear you guys condemning that. So deal with it. Okay, let's see. What was this? He said something about he doesn't erase stuff. 2650.
Something different. Let's be positive and let's make progress.
I totally agree. I just think that there's too much of a sided thing where it's, the problem I have with the whole idea of peer review is exactly what I don't want to see in the flat earth. Now it's garbage. It sucks, because what I'm saying when I say I'm getting rid of comments, somebody might say, "Oh, well, you're just creating an echo chamber." Well, I'm treating the comments differently than everything else. If somebody, like I said, if they put counter arguments in the comment, I would never erase that stuff.
Of course not. That's why I've been muted on your channel for, well, over a year, I guess. I invite anybody to go on there and see any threads that I have started. Yes, being muted, you can actually post in other people's comment threads. However, you can't start your own thread. Okay. I don't know exactly what YouTube was thinking on that, but nevertheless, you will find me in comment threads, but you won't find me being able to start a comment thread criticizing his work. Let's see. Not here. Okay. Yeah, 28 says that he's what was it, 28, 20? 28. Whoa.
Until they make rules that comments cannot be monitored by the channel owner, well, then I'm going to clean out some of that garbage, because it's not what I'm here for, is to spread people's hate, which is what this has brought on. And I'm just doing science. People are just investigating their work.
You're not doing science, dude. And I liked how you blamed your globe on your bad test. That was cute. My globe isn't exactly the most awesome, but mine worked just fine. Let's see. Oh, here's something interesting. Now, Jeran did go into the whole, where is it? He went into, whoever this guy, a JC, I don't know. He went into this whole thing about the Planisphere. Hey, Anthony, here's your moment, man. He went into the whole thing about the Planisphere. And he said, when you take the cover disc off, that's the whole night sky. Well, actually, it's not the whole night sky, especially not one that is at, let's go full screen here, not one that is at 51.5 degrees north, okay, which covers, it says, for Northern Europe, Northern USA, and Canada, okay. There are different ones that exist, and as a matter of fact, let's see. Now, he goes on to remove one of these, and then basically, oh, excuse me, hold on, not that yet. And basically, this is what he shows you. Okay. Now, it goes all the way down to a portion of the Southern Cross, but not the whole Southern Cross. Okay, which is why there's a mask that gets put out in front of it. Okay, this is not the whole night sky. It will never be the whole night sky, ever. Okay, it's the whole reason why they have that neat little ring on there, to show you the part on there of what you would be seeing at this time during this year, or during whatever date of the year. Now, here's the funny part. Now, at minute 29, this is what happens when you can actually listen to this crap. At minute 29, he starts talking about something that he does quite often.
About the world. And if science is true, then science should welcome this. And that's the kind of thing that we're not seeing. I mean, for goodness sakes, Victor Brewer couldn't announce the name of the college that he's borrowing the laser from to do his laser test, because some globe believer will call that college and tattle on him and say that he's doing a flat earth measurement.
No, it's because it's embarrassing to do things that have already been by said university Debunked.
Can you look at that? Think of what that is.
Hold on.
That's somebody who's going to do science, and the globe is trying to stop it. Somebody who believes in the globe doesn't want science to happen. So I mean, that's ridiculous.
You know,
That's just nonsense.
it's like Salem witch trials all over again.
Mhm.
Here it comes.
Let's just burn people at the stake because they're far be it for us to do it, but because they're questioning the narrative, questioning science.
Questioning, there's never a problem with questioning. Never, ever a problem with questioning. However, the very definition of a question is to seek the answer. Okay? But the question itself does not remain open once the answer has been given. Now, if you don't dig the answer, hey, you know, sometimes your kids don't like the fact that you tell them no to go outside, but that's the answer you're getting. All right? Science is nothing more than a searching for answers. Okay? Nothing more. Okay? It is not searching for truth. Okay? It is not searching for opinion. It's searching for answers. Okay? Conclusions, testable evidence and proof. Okay? It's not, well, I didn't like the last answer, so I'm just going to try something new. Now, there's also another part in here where he actually says, he actually talks about how nobody ever contests science. Dude, there's a whole branch of science dedicated to testing the claims and theories of other people. Okay? That's what they do. That's what scientists do. They want to, if you think they just buy onto this shit, okay, if you think they just say, oh yeah, okay, he figured it out, we're all good, let's move on. Okay, if you think any theory from Einstein hasn't been tested tons of times, you're wrong. Okay, if you think that the distances to certain celestial objects hasn't been tested, you're wrong. Okay, if you think that, I mean, that's why you keep on hearing things that change, but only change slightly, mind you. For example, the Earth goes from being a sphere to an oblate spheroid to being pear-shaped and stuff like that. That is as new evidence circums the previous evidence. Okay, if you think this stuff doesn't get routinely tested and new measurement techniques are developed with higher technology, you're wrong. Okay, I'm telling you, you're wrong. Okay, but that wasn't the part I was. That thing right there just pissed me off. Anyway, there's a part in here where now I have it at 29 minutes. Well, 29 minutes isn't over yet, but where Jeran says that one thing that he does a lot of is film stars. And then he also claims it to be not a very exciting practice and all this. Hold on.
Yep. So anyway, and I told you guys all before that I'm not claiming I'm ever going to be right. But if you don't think it's a good idea to bring up what we found, or what, you know, basically Jay found, if you don't think it's a good idea to bring it up for everyone to see what this little $13 item can do, I mean, we've been filming stars, Missa and I, for 2 years.
There. Been filming stars for 2 years. Remember that.
Trying to figure out what is causing that. Sometimes we'll almost see like a, it almost looks like a hand. I'll just describe it that way. Like a hand is holding the star, which means that the light, when we zoom into it, is only coming out of like 3/4 of the star and not the back part. It looks like
right. That's the whole out of focus star shit. What do you call it? But if you've been filming stars, okay, meaning that hopefully you have a camera that's obviously capable of doing that. Why not? You make enough money at this. Why not have the correct equipment? If you've been filming stars, then why is it that you say that this is the entire night sky? As in visible entire night sky. Why would you say that? Because you know that all of this is not in each one of your shots. It's not. Okay? And as I said before, this doesn't even cover all of them. Now, I seem to remember somewhere, now I might be misquoting him, but I seem to remember somewhere that Jeran said that there is no southern star, there is no Octanus, and all this other stuff. But then at the same time, he also dismissed Wolfie in his diss video when he said that he doesn't need somebody to fly him down to Australia because he knows those stars exist. so it would be a wasted trip. So, you know, I mean, it goes back and forth, man. Hold on a second here. Now, no stars at the ISS. Does anybody really need to hear about him saying there was no stars at the ISS? I mean, isn't that such a dead horse? I mean, really, isn't that such a dead horse? Okay, learn something about exposure. You got an expensive enough camera. Let's see, celestial equator. Oh, geez, yeah, that was funny. Now, like I said, he did this whole thing. Oh, by the way, if you want to see it, let me mute this real quick. If you want to see it, I'll show you what actually gave me the idea to do my video. Okay, this is him. He's testing the he's got it on top of an iPad or something like that, and he's testing his hemispheric lens and all this. And he is playing a moving star trails video below it, which is what you're seeing here. Now he's talking about stars, or excuse me, how this actually represents the globe and all this other shit, and why we think it's a globe and all this. But where is the part that I wanted to show you? Before anybody says that I was lying about something on my video, hold on a second here. There's a part here, and it's actually the part that I saw that said, oh, I got to do this video. Hold on a second here. Come on, where is it? Now there's a part here where he actually shows, yeah, from the side. Hold on. No, that wasn't it. Damn, Jeran. Okay, this is where he gets it. This is where he gets it. Okay, now watch the stars basically split and echo each other. It's refraction. Okay, hold on. Right there. Those are both the same star moving over. And he's going to do it again right here. See that? See it split? Now he ran away from that real quick. Okay. Now, let me tell you something about bringing new evidence, bringing new ideas. Bringing new evidence and bringing new ideas is never a bad thing. Absolutely not. Never a bad thing. But you don't bring it as proof. Okay? Especially when the information is right in front of your face that it doesn't work the way you think it works. Okay? It's not proof at that point. Okay? You have to actually research your own stuff first, and then find out if it's something worthy or worth actually putting out as something you would consider proof. Why do flat earthers deny the celestial South Pole? Well, some of them deny it, Kara. Some of them don't. But they have wonderful reasons as to why they occur. Let me see here. Hold on a second here. Let me go a little bit further here. Filming stars. Stars were spread out. I don't remember what that was about. But he also brought up, his buddy brought up Orion. Let's see. We'll go to minute 49. He brought up Orion. He was saying that they don't understand why now he said they were quoting somebody else calling the celestial equator the galactic horizon, which I'm not certain that it is, but nevertheless, first of all, perfect circle around the North Pole would not happen. Flat Earth. Jeranism has conceded in this video that the stars rotate above us on a plane. Okay, that has been stated in this video. And if that were the case, then looking up at a ceiling fan, because he makes also this wild analogy of having a 5-mile long room and a light bulb and all this other stuff. Well, put a big fan in the middle of that room, Jeran, a big fan, and turn it around from your 5-mile long yet 8-foot high ceiling room, and tell me if it makes a perfect circle from standing at what you would equate to be where you live on the flat Earth. Okay. doesn't do it. Anyway, yeah, my molecules are doing much better now, Karen. No, but the galactic horizon, that was, well, it's basically a stupid thing because of the fact that they're saying that they shouldn't see it unless they're actually at the equator. Well, that would be, and yes, he actually says it here. Hold on a second here. Let me play that just so nobody thinks I'm joking.
Getting further. And in a globe world, you can't say that because the percentage is so tiny. If they're trillions of miles away, well, them traveling a distance of 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 miles closer to me doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't make what would I see. But when we see them go across,
Jen,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Good. No, I was just going to say what looking at it through the magnifying glass dome aspect.
And now everything makes sense.
Right. It's like the reason it's Orion or whatever is appearing to show such a crazy parallax, in the middle of a night when it shouldn't, is because of the distortion we were talking about with that magnifying glass dome shaped atmosphere.
Okay. That was actually after the sentence I was looking for. But nevertheless, he was saying from Atlanta, he doesn't understand why he was able to see the celestial equator. He said you should only be able to see it from the equator. I think it was Curious Jay that said that. Here's the thing. What parallax is displayed on Orion? Really? What parallax is displayed on Orion? Somebody answer that to me. Okay, I did a video not too long ago specifically surrounding Orion, as a matter of fact. Let's see, YouTube videos. Let's see. Where's it at? It's one of the first ones that I actually did a color label to it. Okay. Here we go. Now, here's the thing. And I did on a ceiling. I gave the different examples, and then I did on a ceiling. Where's it at? In my living room. Okay. This is Orion as it looks. Okay. Now, if you were to move anywhere else on the planet, if this was, because this is being projected actually onto my ceiling. Okay. This is being projected onto my ceiling. Oh, hey, ranty rant. What a cruel individual troll you must be for not having Skype. Anyway, sorry. This is the projector is right below the camera that I took this picture with, and then I moved to another location in the room, having not moved the projector, and this is what it ended up looking like. That's parallax distortion. Okay, and then I moved to the same distance equivalent on the in the southern hemisphere. Okay, hold on a second, and that's what it looked like. Okay, that's parallax distortion. There is no parallax distortion in any constellation when it's able to be viewed from any location on the planet. In this particular case, Orion is visible from the North Pole to the South Pole. Okay, well, actually, just below the North Pole and or just south of the North Pole and just north of the South Pole. Okay, Orion is visible. As a matter of fact, no, I think it is actually at the North Pole and the South Pole visible as well, because there's no reason it wouldn't be. And there is not one bit of parallax distortion anywhere. Anywhere. Not one bit. Okay. So claiming that there's parallax distortion there on Orion is a falsehood from the beginning. Let's see. Now, there's one part here where confusing sun versus glare. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hold on a second here. This is the part where Jeranism actually debunks about 90% of the sun appears to grow in size videos. Where is it at? Because he used the laser and he was shining it through his little lens thing there, and he makes a very interesting comment here. Where is it at? It is at 51 minutes. Because he's shining his laser on.
You're going to have a better idea of where you live than the magical space ball, where things refract and somehow the sun is higher than it should be. It should be behind the horizon, but if that happens, well, when does it ever at that point? So anyway, what do we got here?
No, think of a hey.
I thought you were doing that. I'm like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah. So the way that they would say it, first thing that's wrong with that is that I'm
starting to wonder if there's some kind of a difference between the YouTube app and the YouTube thing, because my numbers ain't, my times ain't matching up here. Nevertheless, it's going to be somewhere around here, and he was saying that that his camera was showing too much glare here, and there was actually a much smaller pattern in the middle.
Circle on the screen, at least. Well, it's not a perfect circle, but for me, it's a half circle. It's just weird that it's a half circle here and a full circle there. But
it's like a three-quarter move.
Yep, stars, and also because what I see is a actual
shows one, and that's I think the reason I brought to you the attention of the wasp on the water.
Wait for
right.
This.
I'm not saying that that surface tension on water is what's causing the spherical shadow on the moon. However, you science are saying that the only way that round shadow can get there is by your model, which is totally not true.
I like the part that he said surface tension. Whoever mentioned that surface tension of water had something to do with the shadow on the moon? Anyway.
Right. Yeah, what I'm showing here too, I'm trying to, and the sad part is that what I see in reality, what I see here is not what I'm showing on the screen. So, because it's just the glare of the camera, which is obviously not helping me at all. But because what I see is a actual, like only 3/4 of that circle is really shining. And when I show it here, there you can kind of see that it looks like, see how it looks like there's a shine coming out to the left there, but not really the whole thing. Well, that light that we see is what we see.
Okay, now what you caught in there, hold on a second. Now what you caught in there was, now we've all seen the videos about dozens of times at least, saying that the sun gets closer and all this other bullshit. And we always argue back, no, it's just the sun glare. It's just the intensity and stuff like that. As it moves into thinner air above, the intensity increases, and you can't, you're not getting a good feed on it. It's the whole reason for all of the videos that Wolfie did, Red did, I think Sean did, I'm not positive, but a bunch of people have done with a sun filter on a camera showing that there is no size change. Okay, thank you, Jeranisim, for finally pointing out that glare affects what you see on the camera. If you had a filter on there, I'm quite certain you would have seen something better. So, thanks for that. Let's see. Let's go a little. Like I said, this stuff is their conversation is all over the place. So if I'm all over the place, excuse me for that. Let's see here. Yes, the intent. Okay, at 58 minutes, he says the entire night sky is on a planisphere.
Usually, you have this part covered, and it tells you from wherever you're at, and you rotate it around. There is just the Earth map onto a flat plane, like it has a methyl equidistant. Then he takes this glow-in-the-dark planisphere and removes.
He's talking about this guy, AJC, his video, and he's talking about the disassembling of a planisphere, just to bring you into context.
The portion that, usually you have this part covered, and it tells you from wherever you're at, and you rotate it around, and this is what you see in your night.
Now he's talking about the covering, that's the daylight covering. He's talking about removing this daylight covering from from the planisphere itself to reveal the entire card, the entire map that's underneath. Even though what he's failing to tell you is that you need that cover to tell you this is approximately the stars that you would, the only stars you are going to see at that time on that date, depending on where it is turned. Okay, that's the whole purpose of the stupid tool. Okay, it's to help you when you go out looking for stars at night. That's all. Nothing more exciting than that. But he wants to say, well, I'll let him say it.
Night sky, but really, if we ever just paid attention, by removing that, they show you the whole night sky. So this is the entire night sky, both south and northern hemisphere, on one plane, and this is what flat earthers are saying is the truth.
Okay, now what he's speaking of is this. Okay, this is it with a disk removed. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't even go all the way from here, from Polaris to even below the Southern Cross. Doesn't even go the whole way. Okay, so he's saying that this is the whole night sky. The whole thing. Should be able to see everything. Okay, now I don't know about any of you. One of the key points that I brought up in my Orion video was the fact that one thing that I love about the wintertime is Orion comes out. Okay, now that would mean that the window opening obviously would be a little bit more oblong than this, but shape fill, no fill, shape outline. Wow, now I'm doing what other people have done. Anyway, and then the way this lines up is towards the outside through there, and then it would be this would be the view that you would have around the middle of December. Okay, at midnight. Okay, you'd have Orion right up there in the middle. I love Orion, man. I love Orion because also it's noted as one of the most recognizable constellations in the sky. And plus, there's so much going on in Orion. There's nebula in there, and there's all kinds of neato stuff, and it's awesome. But nevertheless, you got all that going on here. Now he's saying, now if I were to go 6 months later in the year, which would be on this end, okay, June right now, somebody go outside and take me a picture of Orion tonight. Somebody do it. Prove me wrong. Okay, because what Jeran is telling you is that this is the whole night sky. And like I said, let me finish off what his words were. Hold on. There it is.
So this is what they're hiding, is that this is one flat plane above your head. And as it rotates, well, depending on where you're at on Earth, this is where you see different. Oh, am I not showing this? God bless it.
I see it.
No, you're watching my screen. I didn't pay attention. My bad.
Oh,
sorry, folks.
Sorry.
One of these days, I'll get a producer who will sit here and do all this work for me, and I'll just talk. But so okay, now let me go back and show you. So I hate when I do that because if I was watching, I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, "Show what What are you talking about? You're not showing it. What are you doing?
Get it together, Jerry."
Yeah, wake up, dude. Come on, get with the program.
Exactly.
All right. So what he's showing. Let me get over here. Okay, so this is a glow-in-the-dark planisphere, and you may have seen these before. They have this covering, which is based on your location, and then,
okay, now he's explaining the same thing I just did.
And so he's right here, and this is his night sky. As he rotates this thing per day, he sees a different night sky. Now the thing is, you can remove that piece and see the entire night sky, and then this is what we're saying is above the Earth. And then as it goes around, well, we see different things based on where you're at, and that's basically he's showing that, and he shows.
Now, basically, what he's saying is that you depending on your position on the planet, you would see different things. Now, that's partially true, but not according to this map on here, because I don't know about you. Let me bring up a higher resolution version again. That is the same map that he's using there. Let me take my little line off here. What do you call it? I don't know about you, but the Southern Cross is not 3 stars. Okay, and if you were to look at Scorpius, it wouldn't take up this much space in the sky. okay, as far as the percentage of what you can see. Okay, the Phoenix is definitely not that big. Okay, you can look all these up, man. Okay, and none of them are bigger than Orion. Orion's a big boy. Okay, Orion's huge, and yet these things are these things are all supposedly dwarfing it. Okay, I mean, what the hell? Anyway, that's him saying that the night sky is
how it's the same, like right here, I think is where he's showing it, that the equator is right above the celestial equator. So right.
No, it's not. Okay, it is partially, well, it is sort of in this particular setup that he does. Hold on.
But he's showing that, and he shows how it's the same, like right here, I think is.
Okay, that is the equator right there, because of the celestial equator, because it does go right through Orion's belt. Okay, this is the celestial equator right here, and it goes right through Orion's belt. Okay,
Where he's showing it, that the equator is right above the celestial equator. So right here.
okay. Now he's saying it's right above the celestial equator. Now on that particular design, yeah, pretty damn close, right down to almost a millimeter, I'd say. However, then why are there stars missing? The reason why is because if you look on here, just like on the azimuthal equidistant map, okay, the area is only a little bit different than the azimuthal equidistant map, because it's not requiring itself to show everything that's available in the sky, should I say. Okay, but these squares, okay, these grid locations, they actually get larger, and this isn't the bottom of the next grid location. The next grid location ends probably about out here at the date line. Okay, stuff you can't see from up north, period. Okay, that's why they have ones for the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Here is a how-to. This is where I had to get it. Uncle Al's hands-on universe. Came out of Berkeley though, so you know, hey. This is, excuse me, let me make that a little smaller. Okay, now this is a planisphere from for people viewing in the southern hemisphere. Here's Octanus. Okay, here's the Southern Cross. See how tiny that is? Okay, Southern Cross isn't all that big. It's bright, it's very bright, but it's not very big. Okay, and then here's Orion, obviously facing the other direction. But you know what you don't see here? You don't see Big Dipper. Okay, Ursa Major. And you don't see Ursa Minor. And you damn sure don't see Polaris. Because they're not on there. Because it's not the whole night sky. Okay? They excluded things that you would obviously never be able to see in areas down south. Now, Northern Star Wheel. Okay, Planisphere, Star Wheel, whatever they want to call them. Okay, this is also Uncle Al's from Berkeley. Okay, this one has Ursa Minor. Okay, Ursa Major is up here, Big Dipper. Okay, now they start to show the cross. I think it's in this direction. They start to, or no, the Southern Cross would be, well, somewhere over here. They start to show the cross, but they don't name it because you can't see the whole. You can't see the whole thing in this particular layout. Okay, so Jesus, it's so bad what these guys are trying to do. It's so bad. Okay, let me move on to a different subject here. Let's see, because they moved on to plenty of them. Let's see. Oh, I thought this was funny. Watch this. They're complaining that science doesn't help while using a planisphere.
Imagine that you're here looking south.
Hold on.
Now somebody would say, well, how does this person over here see the same southern stars? Well, they don't, because this is not the same night for both.
Yeah, I like this one. Okay, touche. Somebody standing over here and somebody standing over here will not see night at the same time, but somebody standing here and somebody standing here will. Okay, I pulled up webcams last night, and I'm going to feature that. I pulled up webcams last night. One of them was in the Falkland Islands, and one of them was somewhere in Sydney. And they were both night at the same time. So, and nobody's ever reported this shift of stars or anything like that. So, you know, to be quite honest with you, those are two people who would be looking, as a matter of fact, day and night map. Here we go. There. Okay. You can get, just as well as daytime, you can get any one of the 3 points. Okay, I'm just going to call them 3 points, which would be Southern South America, South Africa, and Australia. You can get any two of them looking at the same time, and I'll bet you that both of them can do a star trail of the exact same stars pointing due south. Now, Jeran, you know what? I'll bet you got a lot more pull than I do, of course, with your subscribers. Now, I could probably get Wolfie to do one down here to shut you up, but I don't have anybody to compare with in, you know, the Falklands or Argentina or any place in Southern Africa. So here's what I would challenge you to do. Okay, I would challenge you to get two guys, at least two guys, right? And then have them do star trails on the same night, and publish their results. And I would like you to publish it, and then explain it. Okay. But this is here it comes.
Both these people.
Right.
So now this person here where Africa may be, and this person here where South America may be, if they're both looking south, they would see the same stars. They don't see the same central location, and we know that for a fact because the stars render different for each person. Meaning, if the Southern Crux is at 4 o'clock for this person's view, then this person's view has it at 1 o'clock.
Wrong. They both see it when it's dark. It's not dependent on the time. When it's dark, which means that when it's dark in South America and it's dark in South Africa, weather permitting, of course, they are both looking due south. They are both doing looking at the same stars. It has nothing to do with time. Nothing.
Or wherever it would be. You know, I don't know if it's before or after. But basically, that's what we're trying to show. And that by looking up at these stars, they're rendering backwards to your perspective. The orbit is going the other way. And so that's what we're trying to point out. And the more people hear things like that, then the more they can explore and experiment. And
now explain this to me, man. Okay. This is a star trail in South Africa. Okay. It's not very exciting, but it's just somebody posted a star trail. I liked it because I thought it was cool. Okay. Here is the Southern Cross, by the way. Now, I don't know if this one's authentic, but I bet you I could find 50 more of them just like it. Okay. I'm just saying that. Okay. Because the one comment that's in here is from a flat earther, if you could believe that. It says, why are they all white? This is utter crap. Nice sock account, P-Brain. I mean, remember, you guys are seeking truth and you're not looking to start insults, you know, funny. But nevertheless, that is a Southern Star Trail. Okay. Now, you could probably get somebody with perspective if it only arced. Okay. But not when it's coming around on the bottom too. Okay. Not when it's coming around on the bottom too. You're just not going to get that. Now, this is the one that I was using yesterday, or day before yesterday in my video. Where's he at? This is the thing that he says that Curious J says you should only be able to see at the equator. This is the one I was using right here. Okay, this is a Southern Star Trail. Oops, right there. This is a Southern Star Trail. Okay, you might get it for one side, but you won't get it going back the other way. The looping will not happen, dude. It will not happen. Prove it wrong. You got enough. There's enough flat earthers down south. I don't know why there would be any flat earthers down south, but you got enough flat earthers down south. Sponsor them out a GoPro and tell them to go outside and do it. I dare you. But here comes the comment that I was trying to get to.
And we'll get to the bottom of this because nobody's helping us. I mean, nobody from science is coming forward and handing their helping hand.
Nobody from science is giving us a hand. Yet, you say science is a religion and all the people who believe in science are bad people and are bringing us to a future being led by baby demons. But nobody from science is helping you, and you're using a planisphere. Science brought you that, dumbass. Yes, I am being insulting because that was just a horribly stupid comment. But anyway, let's see. Let me showing observation. 03. There's something that he said at 03.
Done. And I'm like, dude, Occam's razor better explains the globe, the thing that spins in space, the thing that goes 66,000 miles per hour, along with the sun and us that goes 480,000 miles per hour, along with the galaxy that goes 2.2 million. I mean, that whole thing.
Yeah, along with all the
nonsense.
magical.
Look, man, if you can't get with that, I understand. But you don't even have a photo of flat Earth, dude. Not even one. Anyway, but where was it?
Forces that no one can prove.
Right, and then you've got fictional forces, you've got centrifugal and centripetal, and they both are the same equation. They both are the same. That's the kind of shit they've done.
Correct, and as a real world example, like for instance, I think others have done this too, but I sent you a while back. You know the test that I did with the flashlight in the bowl.
Right.
Okay. Well, there was something here about stars, and he had said, why has nobody pointed something out about stars? And yet he says he's been filming stars for like 2 years.
So I went online. I was trying to see a demonstration or a test or any kind of proof of this. And once again, what do you know, or whatever.
Right.
But isn't it ironic that, okay, I looked up the scientific reasoning behind the sun's halos, and it's
what
like,
a joke that is.
Well, yeah, it's like, the ice crystals, the hexagonal ice crystals in the atmosphere reflect the light, etc. And I'm, so I went online. I was trying to see a demonstration.
Oh yeah, they're talking about sun dogs and how he reflected the light in a bowl. Well, here's the funny part about that, bud. Then it would have to happen there, regardless of weather, every day, or at least that day every year from that location. You would witness a sun dog. Okay, you and your bowl. Where is this damn thing? I mean, I found myself yelling at my phone today while I was listening to this shit. Hold on a second here.
That's why we have the beliefs we do, and you guys go around parading around promoting this science. We know everything. The Earth's a globe we've known for thousands of years, and you have never looked into anything. You just assume that there's a bunch of people looking into it, and there's not.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, there are. There's no better way to answer that. Now, one thing people are not doing is going out and proving you're flat Earth. But go figure.
There's not.
Jeran, I'll take a step further, or take it. Or there's one step you miss, and that's they probably before it went to textbooks. Guess what? They probably had it peer reviewed.
Of course, yeah.
And all the other like-minded scientists looking for anything that fit the paradigm signed off on it, and that was it. Boom, done. That's how sun halos work.
Here's the funny part about what you just said there, Curious Jay. Dude, peer reviewing does not mean peer patting on the back. Okay, does not mean peer kneeling down in front of peer. Okay, peer reviewing is actually quite a horrible process if you bring something out. If you came up with, let's just say, you came out with, I don't know. You come out with a theory, okay, and your theory, to the best of your knowledge, comes up, matches up with everything that you see. By the way, don't come up with flat Earth theories because of the fact that they've already been thoroughly debunked. That's why you don't get a lot of attention from these people, because they are actually laughing at you. They actually are. Now, this whole part about peer reviewing and stuff like that, no, they're not looking for things that fit. Okay, they are analyzing your test. Okay, whatever your test was, whatever your results were, there are a bunch of people lined up to say you're full of shit, especially if it goes against something that they were supporting before, which evidence had in some way supported, or at least a theory had supported. Okay, if somebody came out tomorrow with a new creation theory, a scientific one, mind you, a new creation theory that goes against the Big Bang. Okay. First of all, it would make the news because it's so widely known. But if somebody came out with that, there would be folks lined up out the door wanting a copy of your test and your results. That's peer reviewing, because they want to know what you just came up with. Okay, and why has this or that test worked in that direction, but now you're saying something different, so we need to figure out why that is. That's peer reviewing. Okay, that's why you don't go to just one site to gather information. Okay, because it hasn't been peer reviewed. Peer reviewed stuff you'll find in lots of places. Okay, lots of places. You won't find it in just one or two spots. You just won't. So that's what peer reviewing is. Has nothing to do with them sucking each other off. Okay, like you two yahoos. So let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I insulting you again? Let's see. Yeah, that's the Sundogs thing. It actually happened before that, though. Oh well, screw it. I'll just jump over that one. I got enough left here. Okay, Curious Jay was complaining about the fact that some things can't be demonstrated. You're right. Some things can't be scale demonstrated, especially when they come down to, what is it called? Orbital dynamics or something? Orbital mechanics and stuff like that. You can't demonstrate that. Okay, the only way you can do it is put the numbers together, then get somebody to understand it enough to finance it, and then shoot it up in the air. You see, there used to be, there's an interesting phrase that exists among people, and that is no pain, no gain, right? Let me tell you what it is, actually, at least in the science world, okay? And modern science, which requires money to do things. It's actually no gain, no pain, okay? People don't go back to the moon because there's no money to be made, okay? And we've already been there, so yawn, okay? They don't want to do it again. It costs too much money to go back and see something you already saw, okay? Now, if you want to talk about some of these, high dollar things, man, if you don't, if there's nothing to be made, if there's no money to be made, honestly, and you guys seem to be the kings of understanding how money rules the world and stuff like that, which in many ways it does, of course, but that the root of all of this globe stuff has something to do with money. The the gains of the elites and whatever and all that other shit. If there was money to be made, then that's when most of these demonstrations and stuff like that actually get put into practice. Okay, now not just money, but also prestige, which is what the space race was. Space race had, sadly, nothing to do with exploration. Yeah, okay, I'm sure the astronauts themselves would argue that, because I'm sure they had the trip of a lifetime. Okay, and there's only those dudes who've ever done it. But the other side of it is, if there's nothing to gain, then nobody's going to finance it. Period. If there's nothing to gain, nobody's going to finance it. So, and damn sure not going to finance it for flat earthers. Let me tell you why they're not going to finance it for flat earthers. I watched a debate not too long ago. What was his name? Schismo, Spurkismo, whatever the fuck his name is. And he went on a debate with Red's rhetoric and all this. And I've seen this pattern many times over, and it's what Anthony Riley's trying to get me to do. Okay, what Anthony Riley's trying to get me to do is he's trying to get me to put out a video about something he himself does not understand, just so at the end of it he can go, nuh-uh. Okay, there is no point to that. Okay, you keep on one day. Jeranism has I think you even put out a video. We're still waiting. NASA put a 24-hour live feed from the moon, and then what? So you could just say, nuh-uh. Exactly what would you use to go through that? Exactly what would you use to analyze that information to find out if it was real or not? Okay, I had a dude the other day told me, says, well, it just about the Discover photos. He said, well, it just doesn't look real. Really? That's your analysis? It doesn't look real? Then define to me what real looks like. Okay. All this, I get so tired of that argument. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and by the way, they actually did say one fact in this thing. Columbus never did set foot on the continental United States, and Columbus was an asshole. Okay, a brutal asshole at that. So that's fine. But you'll be happy to know that there's a, who was it? University of Berkeley, actually. Funny, Berkeley comes up again. Does not celebrate Columbus Day on their campus. They do it, I think it's called Native American Day or something like that. Here's some analogy information for you. Oh, this was awesome. I'm going to skip a good whole half an hour here. Oh, and by the way, yes, Jeran, that's lens flare. Okay. Go get a camera. Actually get a bunch of cameras. Go get your P900. Okay, and point it up at the sun. And then move it around with the sun in it. You'll see this shit too. Okay. It's lens flare, which is why it's all in a perfect line. Okay, and when you move it to another place, it's all in a perfect line again. If it was something that was actually behind the sun, it would remain stationary. Bonehead. Nope, there goes another insult. My bad. You have to watch that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. First, let me do this. This was funny. I was crying at the end of this. Curious Jay wants to make an analogy about something using the game Dungeons and Dragons. Pay particular attention to the end of what he says, or his analogy.
Mathematical way. And then another guy came along. Imagine somebody like, you remember the old game that a bunch of people played, was it Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
You remember that? Okay, so imagine somebody like deep into that game came up with one little equation that could kind of like account for some of the things that happened in this game. You know, the order of the cards that were flipped or whatever. They came up with a mathematical way. And then another guy came along, a mathematician, and he says, wait a minute. And he starts drawing on that formula another formula that you can make is, well, basically every time the dice hits this and blah, blah, blah. I don't know enough about Dungeons and Dragons to really make the analogy work. But you see,
he don't know enough about Dungeons and Dragons to make the analogy work in the first place. So why are you making an analogy about Dungeons and Dragons and math? Really? I was crying when I heard that. And then Jeranism goes on to do another wonderful analogy of somebody disbelieving him driving from, I guess, mainland USA to Hawaii and having something to do with the muffler, and that would be whatever. Stupid, horrible analogies, man. Get some analogies that work, dude. But here's 259, 159. Okay.
Proof. I need to get back to this because I need to realize that I'm trying to show proof to people that are looking for the truth.
Trying to show proof to people looking for the truth. If you hear the words truth or fact, I am stating my opinion. Jeranism. Let me do that again. If you hear the words truth or fact, I am stating my opinion. Jeranism.
People that want to fight me about it, people that want to disagree, they're going to disagree no matter what I show them.
Wrong. That ain't how science works, buddy. Okay? Wrong. If you got something, bring it. Bring it. As a matter of fact, I'll leave you an open invitation. I'll do a debate with you. Bring me your 5 best proofs of flat Earth. How about that? That would be a cool day. And I'll bring you my 5 best proofs of the globe. Hell, I'll even double down. You bring me 5, I'll bring you 10. How's that? Okay? But nevertheless, no. Nobody is going to just blankly deny you. Okay? Nobody's going to do that. Okay? We are going to say, and I'm saying we as in those of us who know that the Earth is not flat, we are all going to say, show me your proof. And if you can't show me your proof, then that's just the end of that, man. You're just talking out your ass. Or as you put it, if you hear the words truth or fact, I am stating my opinion. Okay? And we all know what they say about opinions. Nobody is going to, there was, I forgot the guy's name at the top of my head right now, but there's an interesting fact in the creation of the Saturn V rocket that the guy who actually came up with the staging design was basically laughed out of the room by his peers. And these are paid scientists, NASA or Nazis as you want to call them. They barred him from discussions and all this other stuff because of his design, which ultimately became the Saturn V rocket. Everybody else was still under the, I guess, Jules Verne's mentality of it had to be one complete rocket. Okay. Whereas this other guy brought in the stage factor to show that it actually can be done without being larger than the Saturn V itself. Now, he was ultimately believed and listened to by von Braun himself. Okay, or so the story goes. So nobody is ever going to. I'll tell you this: I will not outright deny you. Okay. Now it sounds like I'm being a little bit raw with you and stuff like that, and that's because I'm still, yeah. Well, you rubbed me the wrong way, and you know you did. I would never outright deny anything unless A, it doesn't even pass common sense, B, requires some form of magic. There was another part here where Curious Jay was saying that these lens domes and stuff like that were basically over, everybody had their own individual one in some way. He said that. So that would be a little over 7 billion times that you would have to see that, or at least be able to measure it, of which there is no measurement of that. But no, I will not openly deny anything if it is brought and presented as some form of experimental proof of something. Okay, but as it has been said many times by many people, flat is not the default. Okay, flat is not the default. Okay, Earth could be a cube for all I know. Okay, if you bring me the proof that shows that, you know, we got a cube, then, you know, hey, I'm on board with that. I will admit that the first experiment that I did in flat Earth, or regarding flat Earth, excuse me, I was actually a little bit nervous because, you know, I put together a bunch of gear, put it up on the roof of my house, and did a test. And I was actually nervous. I was like, what am I going to do if I bring this down and it's actually... Now, I hadn't made any videos yet or anything like that, so don't get me wrong. I had nothing to... I had not dug my hole. You know, I was curious. I was like, well, what do these guys got? And all this. And I came up with a test that made perfect sense to me, and it will make perfect sense to everybody else when I finally decide to bring it out in a video. It is the base for my $5,000 bet, which nobody has taken. And it screwed me up because I remember putting it together and I brought it up onto the roof and stuff like that, and then basically it was all about waiting after that. And I was actually kind of nervous throughout the day. I was like, what if I actually find out that this shit's wrong? You know, what if I find out that, you know, per my own understanding, that it's not a globe? And I was nervous about that, but at the same time, you know, I told myself, well, hey, if it's not, then you need to figure it out, because that's what you do. Okay, I don't outright deny anybody. I don't. Never will. Never have. Okay, I test shit. Okay, I run things through a series of different tests to find out exactly what it is that I'm observing, what it is that I'm finding out about. Okay, and are there other possible results without coming up with extremely wacky matrix style answers? Okay, Occam's razor. Simple? Cool. Let's see. Yeah, there was something at the 2-hour 2 mark where he said something about weight and the Coriolis effect, or maybe that was the other thing. Hold on.
I hear it. I want to see something with substance.
Well, it's like they don't think that they really think we came out of a cave and said the Earth's flat, and we've never been to school, and we didn't learn the same things you did. It's like the people who talk like, oh, here, now we're going to go through what the Coriolis force is. And then when you look north and you throw a paper airplane, it's like, I know, I've already heard all that. I've already heard all that, and it doesn't explain to me anything that, you know, matches real life. So that's great. I know how Coriolis force works. And if you look it up, it says it's a fictitious force.
Does it? Coriolis, asking the chat here, is Coriolis force a fictitious force? I'll bet you if you ask anybody working in artillery, field artillery, it's not. Anybody see that? I'll look it up. Now, see, I keep finding Coriolis effect. Force? Okay. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I don't see it saying fictitious. Anybody see fictitious in here? Coriolis effect or Coriolis force, which is what I actually searched for. An effect whereby the mass moving in a rotating system experiences a force, the Coriolis force, acting perpendicular to the direction of motion and to the axis of rotation. On the Earth, the effect tends to deflect moving objects to the right of the northern to the right in the northern hemisphere, and to the left in the southern hemisphere, and is important in the information in the formation of cyclonic weather systems like hurricanes and stuff like that. I don't see, it seems to me it would have said the fictitious Coriolis force. Okay, hold on a second here. Wisconsin University. Scroll downward, trying to explain our words. Most physicists what are something rotating frames in this? It's not really our fault. We've only ever. Where the hell is this coming from? Basic workings of the Coriolis effect in terms of a non-physicist, in terms that a non-physicist can understand. Okay, well, I don't see fictitious force here. Now, if somebody screen caps this, please get back to me. I don't see fictitious force. So it's not a fictitious force. Okay, and plus, there's nothing fictitious about mapping and charting weather systems that always rotate in the same directions in the northern hemisphere and in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere. There is no other thing than that. Okay. Additionally, table H, for all you artillery guys out there, table H is about firing artillery and adjusting for the rotation of the Earth. Look it up. Okay. And if you would like to see some specific examples, I have a video from way back when called Government Documents Do Not Display Flat Earth, or Do Not Declare Flat Earth, or something like that. That was when everybody hit with that one airplane design thing that said stationary plane or something like that. Yeah, so Coriolis is not fictitious, but there was something you said here about weight.
So, you know, I know exactly what it is. I don't need you to explain that to me. I don't need to know the you know, the excuses that we're all told in school. Sometimes,
but he won't offer anything else. Watch.
Sometimes if we get something wrong, well then, you know, that's great that you point that out. Tell me I'm wrong about it for whatever reason.
Yeah, he wants to hear he's wrong.
But I mean, when they're just saying the same things, of course that it does that because of gravity, dude. Gravity, and then they drop their pencil. That
who said gravity had, that's where that was my question. Who said gravity had anything to do with Coriolis effect? Other than the fact that the atmosphere is held to the Earth via gravity. Okay, let's see. Now, Curious Jay got a little bit mad, saying that we use refract, we meaning those of us who believe in a globe. Let's see. He said that refraction is our excuse, you know, just like perspective is y'all's. Hold on.
Refraction, because they can't then show me the whole idea, you know, when a straw goes through water, you know, that's refraction, because what's happening is you're changing mediums. You're in air, and then boom, you're hitting water.
Changing mediums. Where am I at right now? 2 minutes 7 exactly. Changing mediums. Wouldn't you consider this changing mediums? Going from atmosphere to glass? Changing mediums. And yet, you're cool with your explanation. Hold on a second.
Water, which is light travels, then it hits the water, which slows it down, so it renders it a new place for you. But that's not what's happening here. You're looking across air.
You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah,
I agree.
And if you're looking through water, then you wouldn't see anything. Because if you're looking through the ocean, you can't see stuff through the ocean. So
tell that to every, well, never mind. Every single person who's ever brought a camera underwater, you can see through water, dude. There are various contents that you can have in the water, and a long enough distance through the water, you won't see through it, but you can see through water. Hold on a second here. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Let's see here. Oh, then there was let's see. Oh, let me play out the part where he.
Pretty funny. And let's see, I'm sure he has an image here somewhere, but he's showing this one and saying this is a mirage, and these are the buildings. They're not upside down. So where's the upside down reflection? If it's a reflection, we're not seeing that.
Yeah. When I did my my test over Lake Pontchartrain, my Executive 1 tower was not inverted in any way.
And if you look at this image here, for instance, when we're talking about the lensing, when we were talking about those guys doing that experiment, that literally the buildings would go down to about, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but if you can, it's about right here, probably where the bottom of these buildings are. That could be off by a centimeter. I don't know. It's right about here. So then picture that you're looking through that magnifying glass like that guy was showing the meteorologist.
Yep.
But instead of having nothing behind it, which is what the meteorologist showed, you have water behind it. Well, now as you're looking through that, the first thing that the magnifying glass sees after itself is all the water. So the water is going to be lifted up. Now the water can't show us over this because this all is magnified.
Now, catch what he just said there. The magnifying glass is actually going to differentiate between the water and the buildings. Okay? The water is it's going to differentiate between the water and the buildings. It says that the water is the first thing it sees after the lens. I agree with that. So it would lift the water up. But then would the buildings just stay in the same place? Come on, dude. Really? Well, nevertheless, Curious Jay was in there bitching about the fact that all we ever say is, refraction, refraction, refraction. Well, guess what? Refraction is a real thing. You're even saying it's a real thing. Get over yourself. Let's see. Yeah, and then he said something about rockets, and then he said something about the and then there was that comment thing on here. Guys, I've been on here much longer than I had anticipated, but I knew it was going to be long anyway, so I set aside this time to do this. Long story short, Jeran, here's an open invitation for you, man. I'll do a structured debate with you. You know what the structure looks like. It's the same one that Red designed with Sean Hufford as the moderator. It will take place on my channel, and it will you will be sympathetic to the fact that we are 9 hours apart as far as time zones go, and my schedule is probably not as consistent as yours. But I'll tell you what, you bring your 5 best proofs of flat Earth, okay, concluding that the Earth is flat, okay, concluding that we do have a sun circling around our head and the stars circling on a plane above it, okay, concluding that, and I will bring you 10 for the globe, okay, open invitation. Take it or don't. That's about all that's going to be. Ladies and gents in the chat, sorry I didn't get to get involved there, but it's what do you call it? Like I said, it's about 10:30 at night here, and so I gotta get moving on with other things before the end of my night. Y'all have yourselves a nice night. You don't feel constant motion, of course you don't. Oh jeez, now I'm getting into the chat. No, I gotta go. You guys have a nice night, and Jeran, it's on you, bro. You won't take it up because you don't have any proof that the Earth is flat. You're just a denier of the globe, and you don't even know why. So, y'all have yourselves a nice night, and stay out of trouble.